also an unofficial advisor to Donald Trump. Thanks for coming on the program, Professor Dershowitz. So Donald Trump said today...
No, I am not stop.
Right?
I am not an unofficial advisor to President Trump. I have never advised him.
Okay.
I voted for Hillary Clinton. I'm going to vote against the Republicans. Stop that. I am not an unofficial advisor. I am an expert on constitutional law, civil liberties. I would be making the same arguments for Hillary Clinton if she had been elected president.
Okay.
And do not repeat that false charge.
I apologize. We were misinformed, and I apologize. So can we now continue with the interview?
Good. I accept your apology.
Okay. Jolly good. Okay.
Sure, good.
So President Trump said on Fox News today, there's a clip of him saying, "I did pay the hush money, but it didn't come out of campaign finance." Now, in your legal opinion, does that get him off the hook?
Well, first of all, he's not even on the hook because the president is entitled to make whatever payments from his own personal funds he wants to support his campaign. And so if the president, when he was a candidate, made the contribution himself or did it through his lawyer, there'd be no violation of the campaign laws other than a failure to report, which is very common in campaigns. But paying from his own money rather than from campaign expenses obviously is a big difference. When Edwards was a candidate, he was accused of paying campaign funds to pay his mistress. He was charged with that, but the jury didn't convict him.
Forgive me for being a little churlish and old-fashioned here, but once upon a time, paying hush money to two former alleged mistresses in an election year would have been political suicide.
It would have been political suicide, but not a crime. And the important thing under the rule of law is to distinguish political sins from felonies and crimes. And that's a very, very important distinction to make. And I think one can fairly condemn anybody who pays hush money for accusations of this kind. And the public should have known about it. That's all clear. Those are all good reasons for voting against the candidate. But to move the line from political sin to a crime would violate the rule of law.
Okay, so you must have heard the words today of John Dean, former counsel to President Richard Nixon, who said, "It is now proven that we have a criminal president in the White House, and this is historic." What do you make of that comment by a fellow legal counsel?
Well, I think he's using it as a metaphor when he says a criminal president. He hasn't specified what alleged crimes the president has committed. I'm against the expansion of the criminal law to target individuals, even individuals who I voted against. So I think using the term criminal loosely should generally be avoided.
President Trump has made a meal of the fact that there's no hint of collusion here with Russia. That's not what these cases are about. But they did stem from that initial inquiry, didn't they? And also, the whole collusion business with Russia is the dog that hasn't barked yet.
Mm-hmm. Well, the same thing happened with Clinton. It started as a Whitewater investigation, and then it morphed into allegations of sexual impropriety and perjury. That's the problem with special counsel or special prosecutors. They have this enormous authority to expand the scope of their investigation. Collusion is not a crime. Conspiracy to break the law or helping a foreign country break the law, like hacking, would be a crime. So again, we have to be very clear about where the line is between bad behavior and criminal behavior.
And am I right in thinking that it is custom, but not necessarily written into the Constitution, that a sitting president cannot be indicted in criminal court?
That's a false assumption. It is written in the Constitution. In my book, The Case Against Impeaching Trump, I make a very strong argument that the Constitution says that a president can be charged with a crime after he is impeached and removed for office. The negative pregnant to that is very clear, that he cannot be charged or put on trial for a crime while he's sitting as president. He can be charged after he leaves office, either at the end of his term or if he's impeached and removed. But it's the Constitution, not custom, that says that a sitting president cannot be charged with a crime.
Now, President Trump has talked about pardoning himself in theory in the past. Do you think that he should pardon or could pardon Michael Cohen and Paul Manafort?
Well, he's not going to pardon Michael Cohen. Michael Cohen's the enemy. He's going to attack him. He's going to try to prove he's lying. He might pardon Manafort. He certainly said things that would suggest that. That would be akin to what President Bush did when he pardoned Caspar Weinberger, the former Secretary of Defense, and 5 other people who were about to stand trial for crimes that might have implicated President Bush. Again, not an impeachable offense, but a political sin.
Now, those of us looking over from the other side of the pond might ask,
is the important
where is the moral backbone of America these days?
Yeah.
Well, where is the moral backbone of Great Britain to have as the head of the Labour Party a virulent anti-Semite, a virulent hater of Jews and the nation state of the Jewish people?
Oh, dear.
Don't lecture us about our political system as long as you have Jeremy Corbyn, who may potentially become the next Prime Minister of England. Shame on Great Britain for allowing that to come to pass.
Oh, bloody.
I wasn't lecturing you, I was merely asking a question which is commonly asked, and I don't want to bring Jeremy Corbyn into this discussion. He would be rejecting all those accusations, obviously, that you made.
He would be, but he'd be falsely rejecting them.
Alan
And I'd be
Dershowitz,
happy to debate that anytime you want.
Okay, we've run out of time. Professor Dershowitz, thank you very much indeed. Now, Facebook.